agents raided the Maryland home of Ambassador John Bolton this morning.
That is somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat. Yeah. Not here, but, other places.
What did he say?
Not here, but, other places.
Oh, really?
You cited your expertise having planned coups.
I'm not going to get into the specifics.
FBI, open up!
But it is notable, guys, that John Bolton, Ambassador Bolton's security clearances were stripped earlier this year by President Trump.
You cited your expertise having planned coups.
I'm not going to get into the specifics. As somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat. Yeah. Not here, but,
So that was a lie.
There we go.
Holy crap. What happened to John Bolton? Telephone call for John Bolton.
I've been saying for a while, and I feel like I'm finally being proven right. It's possible that some of these things take a while to come through, and now we're starting to see some headlines, and they're happening at a great time, right in the middle of the deadest season of the world. August. I mean, this is slow ass news. All of Europe is on holiday and whatnot.
Well, that's Europe's problem. I mean,
but it affects the whole planet. I think it
doesn't seem to affect the Trump administration. He went out on patrol with them the other day.
He didn't actually go out on patrol though.
He's got the Ghislaine Maxwell tapes that came out today. The audio tapes.
They came out.
They don't have a slow summer. These guys. They are full. Eric. They're just like full bore.
I agree.
I mean, obviously the Senate's in recess, but the Trump administration, they're making news every single day.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. But then they've been nonstop.
It's just crazy.
I mean, we're 200 and some odd days into the administration, and he's already passed FDR, passed everybody.
Has a day gone by without news out of that White House that you can recall in the past 6 months? A random day, maybe a holiday.
Maybe
it was a holiday. Yeah,
like the 4th of July. I think one of the days around that weekend.
Even that I think had news.
But there was like a slow moment, almost.
Well, John Bolton, as a Republican, he came out and said, many Republicans are concerned about the Trump administration going too far. I highly doubt that, but he's obviously persona non grata now. I mean, what do you think they were looking for? Speaking of the devil, what do you think? In your humble opinion.
Well, so somebody shared something with me, and there was a particular report from Obama, I believe, that was at Mar-a-Lago, and somehow this may be tied into the raid at Mar-a-Lago, that there were some sort of plans.
So what would Bolton have? You think he would?
Well, I don't think Bolton was ever loyal to Trump in any way. And
no, I agree. I'm just saying, like, again, just being pragmatically physical and talking in minimal terms, what is it that they are looking for that would be on a piece of paper in this day and age? You know what I'm saying, Eric? I mean, electronically, do you have to smash somebody's door down to get something electronically is my question.
Well, first off, he was the national security advisor, and he was writing a book that was completely going against Trump.
Okay.
Trump tried to get the book out. He was leaking like crazy.
Okay.
So there's very possibility that he has copies of classified documents that he leaked.
Maybe they want the manuscript and the docs that are going into the manuscript.
Well, yeah, Trump tried to fight it, getting released. It still got released, and how did he get the information? How did he leak all this stuff? Was it classified? Was it not? It's like the Mar-a-Lago case, but put on the actual people who are stealing documents and didn't have rights.
You believe that they went in to take electronic devices?
Partly. I mean, I'm sure that.
What else is in there? Is paintings or something? Or
I mean, he could have notes written down. I mean, you never know. He could have thumb drives, which would be electronic, I guess.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you could get a warrant just for electronic devices. Like that's what happened with Eric Adams' staff. I mean, they seized him in the middle of the day. FBI taking their devices. I mean, I like that they knocked his door down. Don't get me wrong. I love the activity. But I'm just wondering pragmatically, what is the benefit of that? Well, maybe preventing him from destroying evidence.
Well, and also who's he working with? Because again, we've got the whole Russiagate deal. Was he assisting in that? Does this tie back to Tulsi Gabbard? Remember, his security clearance is one of those that was removed.
Right.
There was 37 of them. I forget. But anyway, he's associated with others. So maybe it could be communications between him and his predecessors or intelligence people in order to get Trump.
I can see that.
I have no idea. But
I can see that. What are they going to do to him now that they raided his Mar-a-Lago? What do they do to him now?
Well, so far nothing. I mean, get the documents, see what there is, and who knows? Maybe it's not maybe not even to target him. Maybe just to who he's talking to. And yes, you did hear a cat. I don't know why my cat was yelling. He is very strange. I don't want people in the chat going crazy, going, "Is that a cat? Is that a cat? Is that a cat?"
Well, they're your spectrum friends, Huntley. I heard a cat, and I was able to adjust quickly, having no effect on my life.
No. I disagree, because I was watching or listening to What's Up with Lord Buckley on Wednesday, and I saw plenty of our spectrum people here. So they are your spectrum people.
They went over there?
Absolutely, they went over
there. Okay, well, they're
not
not squawking about cats. I didn't hear that complaint.
Well, no,
I like when I like when there's nature or animal sounds in a live show. You know what I mean? It doesn't. I mean, unless it's some yelpy, barky chihuahua, then you got to obviously kill it. But a dog or a cat, again, unless you're bringing a baby onto the screen and nursing the baby, that's definitely a taboo of mine. That's no go. But your cat, I've heard your cats before. I've never had it didn't really faze me.
No, but again, if they hear something and it's kind of a squalor,
again,
I don't want them to think there's an attack going on in the house. The cats do not vote Democrat, Jimmy. No, he does not. He's not old enough to vote, actually, fortunately. But good to see that something is happening. I, again, don't know what is going on with that. Trump did have a short comment on it. Whoops, let me share that tab. And he's kind of distancing himself.
Mr. President, I have a question about the search of Ambassador Bolton's home. The vice president recently just did an interview saying that it's about classified documents, but that there's also broad concern about him. What are the concerns?
Well, I haven't spoken to Pam in the group yet, but I will be. I saw that just like everybody else. I try and stay out of that stuff. I'm allowed to be, and I'm chief law enforcement officer, believe it or not. I don't like to go around. I have a position, but I purposely don't want to really get involved in it. I'm not a fan of John Bolton. I thought he was a sleazebag, actually, and suffers major Trump derangement syndrome. But so do a lot of people, and they're not being affected by anything we do. I don't know anything about it. I just saw that. I'll find out about it. But
anyway, he's
looks like he just got up from a nap or something. Like he was taking a nap in the little cubbyhole there.
I don't know. You know what? It's kind of like compared to his predecessor, he can do anything he wants. He's so damn active. As a matter of fact, I wish he would take a couple more naps because I get tired. It's hard to keep.
Their new talking point is that he's cognitively declining massively, and it's so humorous. Mm-hmm. The chutzpah of these people, first of all, to not admit that the other guy was, but then to just simply try to gaslight people by saying this with absolutely no physical, visual, video, verbal evidence on the earth. And they all kept saying it the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, guess what? They all say it. Everybody knows it. Democrat, Republican, or otherwise. Everybody has eyes, and they know that. Okay, you could say that, but this guy, he doesn't look like that. He's got more energy. He's making us crazy. So it's like, go ahead, just keep saying.
Eventually, when he dies, they'll say, "We told you so."
Oh, well, there you go.
Like 20 years from now, they go, "See, we told you."
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a 78, 79-year-old man get around and be as active as he is.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm exhausted by him. Yeah. It's like never.
There's too much winning, Eric.
Yeah, there is. But while we're talking about raids and whatnot, I thought this is pretty cool because the Trump DOJ hired a friend of the channel. A lot of people know about this already, but Jonathan Gross. And NPR decided to write a hit piece on our friend Jonathan Gross.
That's outrageous. There he is, Jonathan Gross.
Absolutely.
That's our man.
Look at this headline.
Rabbi turned litigator.
Yeah. Trump DOJ hired lawyer who compared January 6th prosecutions to the Holocaust. Now, where do you think they got that kind of information?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe
let
if
me
you
see.
scroll
Well,
down, you'll
they've
find
got a
out.
link here to a YouTube live stream.
What?
Yeah, let me see.
At a certain point, about 2 years ago,
shoot.
I noticed all of a sudden a junior attorney on every single case.
Mm.
Because these cases were such boilerplate cookie cutter,
Yeah.
they used it as a training simulation for new attorneys.
Wow.
So imagine a medical school
Yes.
that says we're going to make somebody sick
Yeah.
so that a junior can operate on them.
Right. Well,
Isn't that fascinating? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So NPR is now aware of our channel and looking up content. So
I think they called me out by name in that article, saying something nasty about me. I'm not really sure.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, no, my name, I'm in there. They mentioned me for some reason.
Well, I would too.
I compared somebody.
Oh, yeah, you compared the prosecutors. Here's the.
Go ahead. Let's see. Maybe I did something there. It's NPR.
Yeah.
They don't have any money, so they're coming after.
Yeah, I
me.
know. Well, really, as soon as they lose their funding, then we get noticed. But anyway, we'll take what we can. Host Mark Grobert then compared the prosecutors to Joseph Mengele, the infamous World War II doctor who performed experiments on people. Interesting. All right. Well, there we go. Mark.
Wow, look at that. Yeah.
All right. See, folks, you are watching something.
I think I said Joseph Goebbels, but they changed it to Joseph Mengele, by the way.
Oh, well, why would they quote you directly?
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just glad I'm named. And now Marjorie Taylor Greene is like really booming it out there. She's had it with this NPR story. She's been tweeting it all day.
Well, I mean, good.
She's no friend of the Jews, as I said.
No.
I said to Jonathan this morning when he was texting me this story. We just had a good laugh that Marjorie Taylor Greene was on it.
I find that weird, but not equally weird. I was like, of all people,
I know.
Milo.
Milo's in. Even Milo is backing us.
You know
what I think it is?
I don't know if that's who you want backing you, though.
No. Of course,
that's the problem.
when you put up the bat signal, and the bat signal in this case is the word in print Holocaust, they come from near and far. It's a word that they have in their feed that triggers all their bat signals.
Yeah,
and I'm not slightly exaggerating, but I think that may be the case.
Maybe
you may see something from Nick Fuentes by the end of the day.
Oh, please no. Please no. I mean, I think that our chat is getting pretty nice, and we do not need the gripers in the chat. God bless them; they can go do their thing, but we do not need.
The Gripers was the name of the street gang that George Carlin was in, by the way.
Oh, well, there you go.
Which is a strange name for a gang.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
the Gripers,
the toughest gang on the planet.
The Gripers. I was getting a kick out of it. What do you got? What are you griping about?
Well, the funny part is the Gripers and gang. It's like, and the female counterpart is the Naggers.
No, they had I forget the name. They actually had a separate name. The Debs version of the Gripers had a name. I forget what it was. Like the female Debs of gangs had different names, but slightly close to it.
Mm.
Like the Lords of Flatbush had, like, I want to say the Ladies of Flatbush, but it wasn't. But it was something like that.
I still say that they should be the Naggers. If you have the Gripers, you have the Naggers.
The Nags. How about the Nags?
The Nags works. Steven said the Hags. No,
the
not
Hags might work.
Good news on Trump's front. Finally, that $500 million fraud judgment is gone.
What does that mean now? Does he get interest on that, Eric? Or
I don't think he gets shit other than his own money back. But is
that true? Well, there's some debate about the interest.
Well, you know what? I'm not sure, but the $500 million actually included the interest that's been accumulated. I think the actual judgment was
right.
Like I don't know, like 280 or 90, million, and then it's been building or compounding or whatever.
Wait, did you see how big Tish James actually is?
His what?
Did you see how big Tish James actually is?
No, I didn't really look for it.
Either did I. I stumbled onto. They were showing some footage of her in the courtroom. She's huge.
That's why they say Big Tish.
Yeah, but I didn't understand how big she actually was until I looked at, there was some full length mobile shots of her like Sasquatch walking across Oregon, with the arms and everything. And I said, holy crap, she's huge.
Well, maybe she's been stress eating over the past, few years.
She better get that Ozempic before it's too late, Eric.
I don't know. She could go blind. Unlike her justice. Anyway, I don't know. All right, yeah, you just mentioned it, but apparently Trump didn't actually patrol, but he did visit the police, military, and National Guard in D.C. I'm not completely surprised. When I heard he was going to be patrolling, I thought, how in the hell would the Secret Service ever allow Trump to patrol? How would they cover him in an area that's so crime-ridden that he said, hey, we've got to crack down on this place? And announce it.
I thought he would just drive around in a car with the regular car. That's all.
Well, I think if he's going to do it, he would just do it. He should just do it and not announce it. Because nobody would know ahead of time. But if you say, "Hey, Donald Trump's going to be patrolling," that's going to bring all the freaks out of the woodworks, right?
Again, it's a broad area. I don't know. What did he say? What street he's patrolling, or
it doesn't really matter. I mean, they can track it, and with all the drones, everything. You've got Iranian drones. No, I'm saying there are legitimate threats.
Right. Okay. So where did he go?
Well, he went to the police, military. I don't know, what his actual route was, but I did want to clarify. He's not getting the. He didn't actually do the patrol like J.D. Vance, Stephen Miller, and I can't believe Pete Hegseth. They toured, but again, they didn't announce that as far as I know. I think they just showed up out there. And
you mean to Union Station?
Right.
It seemed like a press. No, it seemed like a legitimate press thing because the protesters were there in advance, and I think it was planned. I mean, they.
But I think the protesters were already there protesting.
They live there. They live in there. They live in there.
They get a wage, Mark. They have to show up to work.
It's funny that they come from Maryland and points in Virginia, Northern Virginia, to protest the prevention of the murdering of Black people.
Well, who pointed that out, right? That Stephen Miller pointed that out.
Oh, Miller. Good for him. Good for him.
Oh, no, he raged
good
on
for Miller. That's a good one.
He literally said,
I mean, how many white people live in the district? Like 5?
Oh, no, he said specifically that these are old white people who have nothing to do with the area. That Washington, D.C. is black. They don't give a damn about any black. And he called them old white hippies.
That's what it's like. Well, some of them were younger. Hippies. The language they were using was pretty brutal.
Okay. Fine by me.
Yeah, I would turn a water hose on them. I like the water hose. I wish they would bring that back because it makes you wet. It kind of has pressure. It doesn't kill you. It's a great device for people like that.
Especially in the winter.
In the winter or summer, it knocks the camera out of your hand. I mean, it does so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would travel around with a fire department unit, and then just go code 7, and they would just turn on the fucking hoses and blow them away. I'd pay to see that.
Except if they are peaceful, then I would never ever recommend that. Just let them yell and blah 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 blah, whatever. So, but yeah, if they start to get out of hand or out of an area or causing problems, then yeah, absolutely a water hose. But he definitely called them out. One person who wasn't there but probably wishes he was Jack White. I guess Jack White is not happy.
I don't know how Jack White gets embroiled in these things. This is not the first time that Jack White has been in a tug of war with the administration. Maybe it's his own irrelevance. He needs it. Well, yeah, it might have been using his songs or something on the campaign.
Yeah, they were using the the one song. I don't even know what Jack White did. He's got one killer song. I forgot the name of it, but everybody knows that it got licensed. The administration uses so Jack White, like all the other artists, like they use I don't want them to use my song. It's like, well, don't license it.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you license it, you can say I want to particularly license it to only one group and receive half the money. But he didn't do that.
Well, I imagine that the licensors probably are like, yeah, whatever. And you sign this contract. We are going to extract all money from everybody
Yeah,
all the time.
I'm kidding, but I'm saying unless he created some special contract where he says I'm willing to receive 50% of the money and deny 50% of the earth from hearing my music, he doesn't have a leg to stand on.
No, he doesn't. And the thing is that I think before there really wasn't a lot of licensing, and artists, stuff was used. It wasn't clear. That's why I think the licensing has come into effect. That instead of just saying, hey, some staffer would be like, oh, let's play this song at a rally, the band would hear about it, and then they would, pitch a fit. Now it's like, okay, before you do anything, just go to the publishing house, get the license, play it for a public event, you're done. And Jack White, I'm sure, is secretly just happy that he has a reason for his name to come up. It's like, oh, they talked about me, so I can cry. I mean, if you think about it, it's a very happy thing for him. Him and Neil Young. I mean,
no mention of his sister though, the drummer. I always wanted.
Oh no. She's like a complete recluse. Doesn't come out in public or anything. But on a another, I'm going to say a light note. I played this before because I thought it was funny. And it was talking about, how it's obviously a fun use of AI. And it's Amy Klobuchar talking about Sydney Sweeney. And again, this is obviously parody and AI, folks. So, YouTube censors, but go ahead and listen. And the funny story is coming.
Look, all we're saying is that we want representation. Okay. If Republicans are going to have beautiful girls with perfect titties in their ads, we want ads for Democrats too. We want ugly fat bitches wearing pink wigs and long ass fake nails being loud and twerking on top of a cop car at a Waffle House because they didn't get extra ketchup. Just because we're the party of ugly people doesn't mean we can't be featured in ads. Okay. And I know most of us are too fat to wear jeans or too ugly to go outside, but we want representation. Look, all we're saying.
All right. So it's funny, I think, but it's obviously fair. But this, I think, is my favorite part. You see that come out, it's obvious, but no, Amy Klobuchar has to set the record straight.
Oh, my God.
No, I really didn't say that.
Wow. That's funny. That's funnier than the bit itself.
Oh well, that's why I had to play it because it's so obvious. What the fuck? I didn't say that about perfect titties.
I think the 2026 and especially the 2028 campaign is going to be the war of AI, making subtle things like this even more subtle, more damaging.
It's not. Yeah.
No, I'm saying insidious and subtle.
Yeah, and that's what I worry about. Is
you should worry about it because it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting good enough though where you could just take an actual full speech and then with a slight tweak, just change 3 words in the whole thing and really get a different.
Yeah, I mean, you could steal an entire news cycle by just dropping one of these things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, could you imagine what Goebbels would do with that? Oh my God.
George Goebbels, the comic, or Joseph Goebbels, the minister of propaganda?
Yeah.
The comic. Now, what do you hear about the New York race? I saw that Cuomo was on TV today. Andrew Cuomo. He had a fundraiser out in the island, out in the Hamptons, and people are trying to urge the mayor and Sliwa to get out of the race. However, Mark Halpern had one of the really scientific pollsters on, and he demonstrated 17 different ways that there are just not enough votes out there for anyone to defeat Mandami, no matter how. In other words, even to get out the vote, if you got out the vote, half of it would go to Mandami anyway. So he had tab after tab after tab. This guy was on for quite a while, about 3 days ago, going over the New York race and how, as I've said, it's over. Unless someone dies.
Well, okay. They were talking about it again this morning, speaking of Halpern, and what they're speculating. Halpern is saying, of course, if anybody has a shot at all, so it's Cuomo, period. Nobody else has a shot. Sliwa, whatever you think of him, no shot. Adams, no shot because of the math. The only one who even gets within a range is Cuomo. So they were speculating that there's going to be massive pressure on Adams to get out, except is the black community going to accept that?
No, of course not.
And they said that Sliwa may be suddenly offered a job in the administration somewhere to get him off the board. But if there is apparently a lot of deeper pockets that have not come out yet, they do not like Mandami. And, there could potentially be like a Willie Horton ad type of situation for those who want to go back in time. That kind of thing could do it too. If you could get those two out to clear the board and then just hit him nonstop nuclear, maybe. I mean, Dukakis sliced an 18-point lead. Well, I'm just saying.
This ain't Dukakis, bro. This thing is over. This thing is long. I don't even know what to make of it, because the coverage of it, if you look at it, the odd thing is, of the 4 million voters in New York, only 1.2 million come out and vote, no matter what you do. And 3 million of them don't vote, which is a bizarre amount of people, but it's not going to help or change the Mandami lead, or the negative numbers against Cuomo are enormous. He's got enormous negatives. Anyway, the point of the matter is, the race is over, and I don't know what they could do about it media-wise, but this is the mayor of New York, and why I recommend him being deported, because he lied on his application. He's born in Uganda. He became a citizen in 2017-18. He lied on his naturalization applications, and just enforce it. I mean, Rubio has been so wonderfully aggressive against so many other. They stopped a guy at the border who was coming in from Denmark, who made crazy memes of J.D. Vance. And they said, nah, can't come in. At LAX, they took apart his social media and they said, nah, you're out. They sent him back home. Yet this Mandami seems to be able to operate, having falsified his application for citizenship. I mean, that's the Achilles heel. It's not the voting bloc of New York that's the Achilles heel. It's his actual lying, becoming a citizen 2 weeks ago, ostensibly.
If they're going to do that, though, I wish they would have done that months ago. The closer they do it to election, the more it becomes a political.
And what are they going to do other than yell on level 10? What are they going to do?
I don't know.
They're going to yell on level 10 if they don't do it. Again, it's what difference does it make? Doing nothing doesn't help. Having a socialist communist mayor control the largest city in the country, and just like George Will saying, oh, well, now we'll see how bad socialism and communism really is. Really? Yeah, that's the experiment I want to see in the city I was born in.
So Dustin may be onto something here. He's saying he's probably a CIA asset.
Highly doubt that. Nice try, Dustin. But I'm going to say that he is so deep Hollywood and so far left. And the amount of Hollywood money backing him is completely enormous. And because of his mother. I mean, I think at one point she was president of the Directors Guild. I don't think her movies are deep state movies. They're regular movies, that are far left and Indian in tone. However, the Achilles heel is his lying on the application. I'm just going to keep saying it till somebody takes him away.
Oh, well, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, they're taking everyone else away who's not running for mayor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not against
I think
that.
they turned down, or they're now looking at 40,000, was it 400 or 40,000 U.S. visas of people who are visiting, who have been here to see if they're legit. I mean, the amount of work they're doing on people who are in that naturalized citizenship or visa area is enormous, Eric.
This is a fantastic use of AI.
Yeah.
Just think of how quickly AI can crawl through things to look for discrepancies. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's not what's happening, because we don't have the personnel to go through all that.
No. I of course. Absolutely.
And I don't know for sure, but that could be something Doge did, because Doge was supposed to move on to other tasks about efficiency and things like that. Well, wouldn't that be really efficient if you could get AI to crawl through people's records that are coming in and make sure that they're up and up? Just I think that's what they're doing, because they're doing it at lightning speed. His was revealed. His is a public document. This is not some deep
research that has to be done on his particular thing. This is public knowledge already. The fact that they're allowing this is a fuck you to the Trump administration. I'm going to fucking lie on my naturalization form, and I'm going to become the mayor of the city of New York like it's some sort of commercial out of a Woody Allen movie. The fact that he, first of all, became a citizen 5 minutes ago in 2017, 2018 is bizarre enough, but there's nothing you could do about that legally. But once you start lying on the application and you've been caught lying, saying you're not a member of any political party or of any political affiliation when you're a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, hey, let's get it on. Let's get it on. I mean, what the hell? You know,
right, well, we're doing that with the Columbia guy, right?
That's exactly the same story. I don't care that he's running for mayor. I would do it if he was the president of Columbia or a student like this Khalil is. Yeah, they almost seem intimidated by this guy.
Yeah, I think he caught everybody off guard, especially because he caught the Democrats off guard. They just don't know.
Well, he hasn't caught Obama off guard. They've had 37 meetings in the past year at Obama's secret brownstone in Washington, D.C. Does anybody fucking follow Obama in this intelligence operation we've got here, seeing who he's meeting with? Of course they do. I'm sure his phones are tapped. I'm sure people are trailing him. I'm sure they know every single person. So 37 meetings by a socialist who's running for mayor, and apparently that's not leaked to the media, nor is his application for citizenship challenged. It's a little weak. It's a little.
By the way, that kind of helps out Dustin's theory about the CIA. But I'm just saying,
I disagree.
With the Obama tie.
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying the Obama tie. You already got that in there.
Well, there's no more CIA director who is working with him, however.
No, but
right. So we run the CIA now. So unless he did this now we do with Ratcliffe and Tulsi Gabbard. I don't think that the same situation is happening under John Brennan.
Well, yes and no. I mean, what I'm saying is that like
yes and no.
Well, it's both, because it's just shifted down the line. So instead of being right at the top, you're looking at the deputies and people underneath. Tulsi's literally reorganizing the entire ONI or ODNI. I don't know if you saw that. She released the whole thing on X, and they're still scrambling. Ask Laura Loomer how many rats are still in there.
Tons
that
of
could
rats.
Be working with them. So
tons of rats, but this guy, Mandami, is a big rat, and he's going to be running the biggest city in the country. I don't know. Maybe that's important. Maybe I'm overestimating the importance of taking New York, Chicago, and LA, having three socialists in the three biggest cities. Maybe I'm overestimating the importance of that. I don't know.
And one of them being a Muslim, which starts to take it over to another thing. So
an added bonus.
Yeah, we can be England quicker than,
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to run like a Budig or some weird guy wants to run Gary, Indiana as a mayor, who gives a shit? But when you start taking over the three major cities in the United States at a time when they're supposed to be on their heels, being mocked by the conservative right and the media on the conservative side for being losers, I don't know if taking the three largest cities in the country would be considered losers.
Well, they're just, I mean, honestly, the right is infighting. It's a great time for them to do it, because we have, people we know and others who are sorry to say woke right. The people don't like the term, or there's just some real problems in there. And it's not just New York. You've got this guy here.
Day one, if you were elected, what would be some of your top 2-3 priorities for the city?
So that's a very good question. So the first I would say would be
get some food.
A hostile federal government with not only Donald Trump in office, but he has essentially a trifecta, both chambers of Congress and the Supreme Court. And a lot of our neighbors, especially our undocumented residents, are very concerned.
So my first act of office is to make sure the people who just voted for me to become mayor are protected by the administration. His first act of office is to deal with undocumented people who can't vote.
That's correct.
Wow.
And that's Minneapolis, by the way. It's not a small city.
Yeah. I knew that, but maybe the audience didn't know that. Minneapolis.
Well, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. It's so funny that this guy's first response is to protect undocumented voters and undocumented aliens who live in his city. Yep. From, obviously, I'm assuming Somalia.
And I think he's a heavy favorite, just like
Mandela. Oh, no, he's a walk-in. He's another walk-in.
So
yeah, he's a walk-in.
And
The age of the white liberal savior in a blue urban environment is done.
Which, by the way, I have to laugh my ass off because it's that white liberal savior that put these people in place, and the first people displaced are those idiot white liberal saviors.
Well, they held on way past their point of expiration. I believe that they didn't have they were ruling over black Democratic majorities within their own districts, within their own cities. The day was coming where they would be eliminated politically. You've got a couple hanging on for dear life in a couple of cities, but they're finished. Even the Democratic Party. That's why the last of this nationally is going to be Newsom, who is going to demand that a white Democratic female, a black Democratic female base vote for this white a sleazy politician with greaseback hair. That he is going to be the last one of this type. There's really nobody down the pike other than a black woman who can run for a black Democratic Party on the national ticket.
What's interesting,
and Harris may still run against him. I mean, everybody on the chatterboxes out here are talking about all week about Harris versus Newsom for the nomination.
Please.
Yeah, no, they have the same political consulting firm, Ace Smith, the top consultant in California. It'd be absolutely fascinating.
I won't rule out AOC being a threat to Gavin in the primaries.
It's got to be a woman of color simply because the entire base of the Democratic Party are women, black women. They will not vote anymore for these white dudes or even the last survivor was a white Hillary Clinton who they voted for. And that was a compromise. Then they switched to Harris, which was a black woman, and they would have crawled over broken glass naked to vote for her. Luckily for us, there weren't that many of them to put her over the top.
Well, I have a question for you. Okay, because you're a former Democrat, so you know the ins and outs better. From what I have seen, Democrats are very different than Republicans. Republicans generally, whoever came in second is first next time. They're very traditional, blah, blah, blah. The Democrats seem to be, if you lose, you're dead to me next time around. So I really can't see Kamala going anywhere.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm just saying that's been the scuttlebutt all week. I, again, for the 9 millionth time, believe the nomination will be handed to Gavin Newsom with a free cup of coffee and a bowl of soup. There is no way on the planet Earth. I know Mark Halper could say it all day long, but that is not going to change. This guy has a war chest that's literally $1 billion. He's got nothing to do but run. He is running. He's in every state in the country. He's at war with Trump, with his Twitter army that you pointed out the other day, who are going at him. And there's a power vacuum within the party. I mean, every single metric that you could possibly use leads you to Gavin Newsom.
The one thing that gives me pause is, like Halpern was right about Kamala Harris and
I was right about the Yankees 2 years ago. Doesn't mean
no. Okay, what I'm saying is, so he does. I just am like the way he hangs on to this thing so against everybody. I'm like, does he have a piece of intel or something?
What could it be? What's a piece of intel? Every donor in the country is giving money to Gavin Newsom. What is the intel in your mind?
I don't know, a live boy or a dead girl. I mean, I just don't know what the hell.
I mean, he's been through it here. He's been through it in San Francisco. He's been through it every single scandal. The guy's Teflon. He's gone to rehab. He's had cheated on his campaign manager by banging his wife. It's all been done already, though. It's all been done and out and aired.
I don't know. I
know you don't know. I'm trying to tell you.
But I'm just saying, like Halper, I was sure with you about Kamala Harris. How did he know? It's like, I won't rule it out because of his family connections and, some of his backgrounds. Like, there could be something there. We just don't know. I'm not sure. But
okay, you could say that all the way to election day. And not only that,
as long as they don't get elected, I don't give a damn who's running.
Well, I'm not saying he's going to get elected. I'm just saying he's a shoo-in for the nomination.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that because I said I was
going to get elected. I'm just saying he's going to be the Democratic nominee. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was trying to finish was that because they've tried running two women and they both lost miserably. Gavin Newsom being a white male, it seems like a logical thing. Like, we've got to get this thing back. and
black VP woman.
Well, of course.
Yeah. So I mean, this is, and let me tell you something. It's a formidable ticket. Don't get me wrong. This again, people seem to underestimate this guy. I'm not going to shut up about it. He's a mad genius. This guy has survived recalls. He survived an entire state on fire. I mean, there's nothing that seems to kill this Dracula.
No, his state on fire helped him.
It helped him. I'm telling you.
Because then he got in a fight with Trump. So
yeah,
it's just like,
no. There's nothing that kills this guy. Your people are severely underestimating him.
In a weird way, he is a little like Trump on the left because, with all the criminal charges, everything, Trump kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There is a little of that in Newsom, which is
I can only say part of the reason is the power vacuum currently that exists in the Democratic Party.
We are grading on a curve.
They're desperate. They're desperate for leadership. They're desperate for someone with a big mouth. They're desperate for someone to step into that vacuum, and he's quite willing to step in there and has already. So, I mean, it would be bizarre, for someone to say, yes, we'd rather give it to Pete Buttigieg. I know. I'm just saying who's out there. I mean, we're going to give it to Jasmine Crockett instead. That's our choice.
Well, okay. My thing is that everybody who's sitting there mentioning Budig, I don't know how his name gets in the conversation. The guy was a mayor, not a mayor of New York, by the way, a mayor of some town in Indiana.
I mean, all you have to do is look at the polling among African Americans for Pete Buttigieg.
Oh no, he's dead because he's gay.
No. The actual number, just the actual number. Tell them the actual number.
I don't even know. It's like 1% or
no. That would be too high. That would be too high. He polls at 0.
Yeah.
No, 0. I mean, that's the actual.
No,
number.
I know. I forgot. But yes,
it's shocking that that's the number of Pete Buttigieg among a party whose base is African Americans.
Yeah.
He's dead. Goodbye. Stop wasting my time.
Well, I agree. And I mean, he has everything going against him. He has no, he's a transportation secretary. That was a complete failure. He is a small South Bend, Indiana.
Biden will come out of the crypt for what it's worth, and he will lift up the hand, or they will put a bar behind his arm to hold up Newsom's hand, which he's already done on multiple occasions in public, saying he's the next president of the United States. So it doesn't hurt. I don't know if it helps. It helps among the Democratic base to have a former president of the United States endorse a potential Democratic president, which he already has.
By the way, and I'm not wishing anything on anybody. I don't know if Biden will be around in 3 years. He might be alive.
No, I don't know.
I don't know if he'll be able to.
That's why I've made this tape recording for the future. I am in the afterlife now, but I made this recording. He'll make a video.
Oh, okay.
He'll make a video. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, if you want to motivate him to make a video, let the rumor go harder that Kamala is actually going to run. That'll inspire him. Joe will hold him
make the video today.
Talk Joe. Get on that microphone, Joe. That bitch isn't going anywhere. just tell Jill that she's going to be doing it. All right. Well, speaking of illegals, do you see this? Maryland man is actually getting released from jail and is going back to Maryland.
Yeah, of course. I told you this would happen. I mean, and that was their goal originally, and they will, celebrate him here in Maryland and raise money with the ACLU, and he will have the greatest legal team in the history of the United States. Because we made him a poster boy. I told you, not you, I told people on this show that they would make him into the poster boy and get him out and do this. And the Republicans just kept thinking they were winning.
Well, a lot of people have been distancing themselves, like that senator who flew down. Here's the funny thing. He is getting out of prison and going back, but it's been very low profile in the news because I don't think they really want to claim it.
They will build him up and he will be giving press conferences and speeches around the country.
Oh, well, all right. Well, we've got, you sent me this one. DeSantis firing back after Dem decries Florida's move to ditch LGBT.
You got to like this, Eric. I mean, if you're, in the middle of the night to send the Department of Transportation to get rid of these multicolored crosswalks, this guy does the gritty stuff. That's what I like. And so does Stephen Miller. I mean, besides on a federal level, DeSantis's people are like a miniature version of the Trump administration out of Florida.
Yeah. Well,
and physically doing things, physically getting rid of stuff like this, physically opening up Alligator Alcatraz, and look at that! Look how nice that looks.
That is nice, a little clean and neat and
City of
fresh,
Orlando.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And now they can say that it's beautiful.
Yeah.
No, I've always said that DeSantis is an excellent governor.
Yeah.
Excellent. He's a great manager. He's not a dynamic leader. You know, like the president of the United States is a cultural figure who moves things around. And that, I think, has been the biggest issue with DeSantis. He's very solid. He's like Jeb Bush on the right, because Jeb Bush, well, they're both on the right, but technically, but Jeb Bush, also very solid manager, good governor, but just not dynamic in terms of being a leader.
What do they call him? Sleepy Jeb or something? What do they call him? Low energy
Jeb. Yeah. And that was Trump.
Well, he's not low energy DeSantis. He's got a lot more energy than Jeb Bush does.
Well, his wife has even more, but
yeah, she's hyped up. She's on the stuff. She's on the Ozempic, bro.
She's ambitious.
She's
very, very ambitious from what I've seen now. This piece, I don't know if you're familiar with this guy, but I think a lot of people in the chat are, and very sad. But we lost Judge Frank Caprio.
You're right. I don't know who that is.
All right. Well, I'm going to play one video short that went viral on him. He is a judge out of Rhode Island. He was on a show or something called Caught in Providence, and clips from that show went viral. And he went viral just because he's kind of like the nicest judge on the planet. If you could take Mr. Rogers and turn him into a judge, that's who this guy is. Just really an amazing soul. So here's 1 minute of a particular case.
Is this him?
No, this is the person who's in front of him.
Oh, gotcha.
It's only a minute. We'll
yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Corella, you are charged with a school zone violation.
I don't drive that fast, Judge. I'm 96 years old and I drive slowly, and I only drive when I have to. I was going to the blood work for my boy. He's handicapped.
How old is your son?
63.
You were taking your son to the doctor's office?
Yeah. I take him for blood work every 2 weeks because he's got cancer.
You are a good man. You are a good man. You really are what America is all about. Here you are in your 90s, and you're still taking care of your family. That's just a wonderful thing for you. I wish the best for your son, and I wish you good health, and your case is dismissed. Good luck to you, and God bless you.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. Anyway, he got so popular nationwide that people would send money into like a fund to help out people who are down on their luck. And just this video after video, and it seems like he was traffic court primarily, or somebody, but like there's other ones where it was a funny one. It's the second one where he had this guy who's a defendant, and his son was there, and the judge said, "Son, come up here." And so he takes this kid up there and he's like, "Did your father make this right turn?" And everybody's just laughing because the kid's like, "Yeah, he's not guilty." Okay, did he stop at the sign? No. So he did go through. So then is he guilty? No, he's not guilty. And the judge is just falling out laughing. And there's I shared a thread or forwarded a thread on X if people want to check it out, but there's case after case after case after case, and he helps people out. A guy who walked 5 miles to actually go in front of the court. He was so impressed that he pulled $25 out and said, "Here, take an Uber back, please." And gave the guy money, and then he got other money to pay off the guy's tickets. So it's a rare thing to see a really good soul. He passed away a couple days ago. He will be missed. And I didn't.
I was in traffic court. And I had a ticket that you go into this auditorium downtown LA with hundreds of people in this auditorium, like a school auditorium. And up front is the judge's bailiffs. And I was reading the paper in the back, and the bailiff came over and said, "No reading." And I said, "What am I supposed to do?" He says, "You can't read the paper. Take your hat off." I go, "What?" There's hundreds of people in there. I don't know what the hell this is. But that isn't even the joke. The joke is, as the court is supposed to start, the bailiff goes up to the front and he says, "We're about to begin procedures. Anyone with outstanding warrants, now is the time. Felony warrants, now is the time for you to leave." And about 40 people get up and run for the door and split. and then they closed the doors and they began the traffic court.
What?
I swear to God. I swear to God. This is how they operate. They said, if you have outstanding felonies or warrants, now is your time for you to leave. And they left. They got up and 35 different gangbangers got up and split. This is in a crowd in this auditorium, I want to say 150 people waiting for traffic tickets to be adjudicated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just giving you the contrast.
Yeah, no, wow. Okay, well, this story is actually not quite a week old, and it kind of slipped by my radar. I didn't see it, but we've talked before, and you've mentioned many times, I like Jordan Peterson and what he's done for a lot of people and stuff, but we've talked about it. You've talked about how, he keeps crying all the time, and you're like, that's kind of a bad sign that there's some issues or whatever. Well, it appears that Jordan is taking some time off of everything as his daughter reveals a mold exposure illness. And he supposedly has this debilitating illness caused for exposure. It's called chronic inflammatory response syndrome. Or
Ever hear of it before?
Well, it says an acquired medical condition not generally recognized by mainstream medicine.
You ever hear of it, Eric?
I haven't, but there's many things I haven't heard of. But I am saying that
usually you've heard of it. You've heard of it, right?
Usually, right. Sure. But he has some odd conditions anyway, as well as her, because remember they're on the carnivore diet because of the inflammation problems and blah blah blah. Blah. So there's already a little bit of a interesting diets or whatever. But I was just pointing out, I don't want to imply that there's anything else going on, but he was in rehab a few years ago, over the planet in Russia.
She's full of shit. She's full of shit. Drew and I have talked about it. It's depression, and he's taking time off for depression.
Okay, so you already knew about this.
Yeah, no, I told you. I'm the one who sent it to you, I think, a week ago, right?
No, I just.
Well, Drew and I were talking about it anyway. I don't know if I sent it to you, but he's the one who sent it to me, and then we talked about it afterwards. Only the elites come up with the most obscure. They have Lyme disease all the time. They have things that normal people don't have. And this has gone on for so long. They check into rehabs for things other than addiction. I don't know anybody who does that, except Hollywood and media elites, which is what Jordan has become. The weeping, I mean, it's just sad because it's such an easily fixable problem. And he just will not buckle. He just wants to, do it his way. And his body is fighting back. Like I said on the show, we're talking about Carlin the other day. And I talked about Tucker Carlson. If you're going to treat yourself for addiction, this is what happens. Your body rejects. You get all kinds of white knuckle related ailments because the tension in your body is so overwhelming. And, your body is telling you to treat it.
True. And by the way, folks, Mark is not saying that people don't actually get Lyme disease. There are people who get Lyme disease.
I'm saying it's used by PR people in this town all the time to cover stories for addiction. They come up, and that's why it's such a cliche why I'm being sarcastic about Peterson, because they come up with these, they try to outdo themselves by coming up with a disease that no one's ever heard of. And it's almost like a one-upsmanship in Hollywood and in social media surrounding addiction of celebrities. They come up with anything other than addiction. And this has been going on for 20 years. And this is a new one on me. And what I heard is he simply has chronic depression from his addiction. And, instead of embracing it and helping people, the shame of addiction becomes a sword that is used against yourself by yourself. And, this is common in this particular city and common in social media, apparently.
Well, and with him, I'm not excusing him. I sort of see it because it's really hard for, somebody who is a clinical psychologist that helps others with it to say, by the way, that's that whole, doctor treat thyself, or,
Well, there's
whatever.
a whole doctor's program in recovery where doctors who are in treatment are in recovery, and they will not let you operate as a doctor until literally 5 years into recovery of going to meetings with fucking doctors. They have meetings of just surgeons, brain surgeons. I'm talking about 12-step meetings where they will decide whether you're ready. They're not going to put you back in there with a scalpel into a surgery room until they decide that you're able to do this to overcome addiction is what I'm talking about.
What if there's somebody like an anesthesiologist? That would be
They're in there too.
very-
They're in that doctor's group. There are groups of just individual high-end positions, pilots meetings. People don't know about
You
this.
said
but
lawyers have a special.
lawyers have it too because of different stuff they've had with malpractice, legal malpractice, and legal disbarment and everything, where they have separate meetings and they are judged by their own peers. In recovery, I'm talking about.
Okay, well, you brought up pilots, and I was thinking about it. I was like, I'll bring it up.
Watch the movie Flight with Denzel
I
Washington.
know.
That movie is actually a white dude who I heard speak at a meeting years ago and has been clean and sober for a long time. That guy, was a pilot, and that story is basically true. The movie Flight is what I'm referring to.
Right. Well, I was going to say that there were some concerns with the whole pilot community. Like, are they able to get help and retain their job or not? Because they were talking about,
that's what I'm saying. They go to
access,
meetings with other pilots.
Okay.
And they have to go for a long time before they're cleared in these meetings by their peers. And then then they go through a process of for particular thing. I don't know the particular thing for pilots, but they go through a process of reapplying and whatever, trying to get their license back.
Well, I was going to say the FAA is like really, if there's any whiff of anything traditionally, like, and even depression, not just drug addiction or whatever, that they're like, you're grounded. And that's caused a lot of pilots and stuff to hide.
Buzz
their
Aldrin,
problems.
who went to the moon. He's been a member of AA for 35 years. I mean, he went to the moon, Buzz Aldrin.
Okay.
Well, he flew a fucking rocket.
Is that why he
ship.
punched the guy?
Yes, that is why he punched the guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I mean, it's in every walk of life, and I'm saying in certain high-end jobs, I'm sure the flight controllers union has their own meetings. There's a meeting in the Capitol every day at noon of congressional staff and everybody else that has a meeting every noon in the Capitol behind closed doors.
Okay. All right. I pulled this story. I didn't get a chance. Have you seen this? That Lee Zeldin tells Pod Force One how Obama and Biden alums cashed in on a $20 billion.
I didn't see this. No, I did not.
Oh, this is interesting because Zelden is talking to Pod Force One. Pod Force One, if I recall, are a bunch of Obama staffers as a podcast.
Right.
And he's claiming that the Biden administration tried to tie the EPA's hands behind its back by sticking it with billions of dollars that are funneled to NGOs.
Wow.
And this is Lee Zeldin talking to them.
Wow.
So much stuff is just coming out left and right. And that leads me to this story. I don't know if you saw it, but we all knew it was happening, but now they're rushing, since Trump did the administrative order, they're rushing to come out, and you've got whistleblowers from banks now coming out saying,
right on.
Yeah, Obama and Biden admins pressured them specifically to debank conservatives.
Well, I'm sure they didn't come up with it, Eric, right? I mean, what do you think? They woke up one day and said, I happen to see this guy on the news, let's debank him?
Well, and it would be literally insane.
Right.
It's like, they debanked Trump for billions of dollars. How much money will the bank earn on, many $100 account? They earn a lot of money on that. It's like, how many, they can put it out for
you
loans
really
for houses.
need a whistleblower from the bank to explain the process of how these, not just Trump, and not there were lesser people, if you remember the storylines back then, all over the country. People in Missouri, people in Alabama, people in New York. I mean, it was everywhere, and it seemed totally random.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? So, who was that in the chat? Somebody said Lois Lerner 2.0. Mark Pugner. Yes, you are right. It's very similar to that because the IRS was doing a very similar thing, and they would look for things like the word patriot, and they had keywords that were used by the right with any organization or whatever, and they were like, oh, that says patriot, or that says American, or that says this. So go ahead and grab them, freeze their funds, audit them, do that. I'm pretty sure that the banks, I don't know if they were doing it themselves, but much like Twitter had the meeting every week, the FBI, I'm sure there were some banking regulators out of the administration that would go to the bank and say, you seem to have some accounts from people, and these people, well, we might have some problems with these people. And I know you would not want to serve these kind of people and be a threat to our country.
Well, let's find out. Let's see. I'm sure there's emails. Sure they didn't call them on the phone. There must be a paper trail.
Well, if they're smart, they would have a meeting and do it verbally. But fortunately, they're not always smart.
Well,
fortunately, they do.
Yeah. But by the way, that guy's logo was interesting. The guy just donated Mark's logo that he just put up.
Oh,
yeah, that was thanks for the donation. That was Bill Hicks, the great comedian from Texas, who will receive his own Secret Life of Bill Hicks at some point.
Okay, cool.
It was mentioned because of the Carlin thing, and
right.
He was one of the outlaws.
Okay,
I just noticed it as his avatar.
A short-lived outlaw too. I mean, he made a pretty big impact for a short.
So did Kinnison. Kinnison died at 38.
Hicks, I think, was even younger, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, people don't last long in comedy, except for Carlin, who lasted 60 years.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, Lenny Bruce. I mean, a lot of people die.
Mort Saul did well.
He did. He lasted a long time. Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's the king of them.
I think if you start yelling,
94?
I think you're yelling, your blood pressure goes up. If you're a yelling, angry comic, that doesn't help. Or if you get into drugs, that doesn't help.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. All right. We were talking about this before we went on, but Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. What's with Cracker Barrel, bro?
It's funny. Cracker Barrel's kind of late to the game, it seems, of, the woke fest, but can you think of anything more Americana than Cracker Barrel?
Aunt Jemima?
Well, that's already gone away. And
I know.
Now it's Pearl Valley, I think it's called.
Aunt Jemima. Uncle Ben?
Uncle Ben's
pop. He was big. Uncle Ben was
got to
big.
watch out for the rice. Yeah. Well, no, okay. I was thinking the only high level Americana I could think of was, like, let me see, Budweiser. Oh yeah, Bud Light. They did that. How about Harley Davidson? Oh yeah, they did that. I think that the woke people love infiltrating and trying to take over anything at all that is iconically American, and especially if it represents American values. So this was the logo, which I'm sure everybody has seen a Cracker Barrel, and they even have the rocking chairs along the side of the restaurant.
Yeah.
And this represents it perfectly. The old guy with the barrel and all that. So what did they do? This is the new logo.
It's not even a logo.
Well, here's the part that makes it so obvious that they're ripping out everything good about Cracker Barrel. The font is identical. No, the font is identical.
Right.
So they stripped everything Americana, everything good about and they stripped it to nothing, to where now it is a bare font that they can ultimately replace with their garbage. And that's my opinion. I don't think I'm far off of it.
Well, does that look like a cracker? The bottom one, is that a Cracker Barrel within a cracker? That thing?
Huh?
Is that a cracker?
Like what you eat? No.
The shape, the shape that the words are in.
It looks more like a chip, I guess. But
okay.
yeah,
I don't know. I thought it might have been a cracker.
Yeah, I never thought
they changed the shape. I'm just saying.
Shape, you're right.
Yeah, that was a cracker, bro.
Okay.
I don't understand. They had to get the white guy out. You know why? Because crackers are white people. That's the game here, bro. Crackers. When they say crackers and they see that old white guy, there are probably people who make a lot of jokes about that in the hood. And somehow that got to them, and they stripped out the old white guy and kept the word cracker, got rid of the barrel, and got rid of the cracker itself, it looks like, and and took out the word old, whatever the old word is, old country store. They don't like that either.
Well, they've lost $200 million in
Wouldn't be
market share
surprised.
already.
Wow.
So good for them. Go for it. I agree, though. One of Halperin's was standing co-host said, he said the only way they can solve this problem is if they get rid of the old guy, but then put on Sydney Sweeney wearing Daisy Dukes.
That's funny.
That'll fix it.
That would be great.
That would absolutely fix the problem. But anyway, good luck to them. No, they need to get rid of her.
Well, the same with Bed Bath & Beyond. They issued a statement this week that they were leaving the state of California. The CEO issuing a damning statement against the anti-business climate in California, and opening up new stores around the country, saying we will not be opening them here in the state of California. Wow, what an indictment! At the same time that Greasy Head is going around saying this is the greatest economic environment in any state in the country. Here's yet another brand saying we're out of here and we're not going to open up stores here.
That's true, but I want to finish on Cracker Barrel because
go ahead. Sorry.
And Deborah's Twitter account apparently decided to go around to the restaurant, and he's discovered that there are deeper problems within Cracker Barrel. Let's look at the menu.
Okay.
Let me see. Land acknowledgement flapjack.
That's funny.
The beautiful at any size breakfast.
That's funny.
You have grandma/pa's gender sampler.
That's great.
This is MAGA country fried steak. You, of course, have the anti-Semitic steak and eggs and the Black Lives Matter biscuits. So, things are running out of hand, Mark. And
well, that's why Denny's still rules the earth. You can't go wrong if you go to Denny's. I'm sorry.
Anyway, that
I will take any Denny's anywhere, anytime, any place. Got a grand slam.
That account is Jarvis, and it's at Jarva Best on X. They did a great job on that one. So I love that, putting the menu together. All right. Well, this is an interesting one. You know how we've been talking about the female teachers? And,
and yes,
students?
we have. Go on.
Well, you know what? I don't think it should only be teachers. You can also have a nurse who decides to get it on with her stepson.
What?
Yeah. Florida nurse Alexis Von Yates takes a plea deal after her husband caught her allegedly having sex with a 15-year-old stepson.
Well, the nurse has nothing to do with the story, but it's just the same story. This kid
is. Yeah.
Is the nurse part of the story, or?
Yeah, she is a nurse.
No. But what does it have to do with the story, though?
What do you mean? This is what her
He just
profession
happens to be a nurse?
Yes, that's her profession.
Right. I'm saying it's not
no, it's not a kid at the hospital. No, it is her own.
He's saying nurse. I mean, okay. Is she doing it at the hospital? It has nothing to do with the nurse.
No, she's doing it at home, which is even worse. I mean, think about it.
No, but I'm saying the teacher is doing it to a captive audience in a classroom. There's just some hot pictures of her as a nurse. But dude, it's the fracturing of the American nuclear family began in 1965 with no-fault divorce. What you see in rehabs, what we've learned in treatment is that step families abuse each other. Step families have 1 billion times higher rate of addiction. Step families do all kinds of crazy things to each other sexually. And that began in 1965 with no-fault divorce.
Well, I've also seen articles, and I don't know if this is an implication that helps rate this kind of problem, but some of the top searches for prawn are family.
Oh, yeah, that's because it's embedded as a cliche in the culture now. What I'm saying is people that I've treated in rehab over and over and over again, assaulted by stepbrother, assaulted by stepdad, I mean, it's just
or real dad in the shower. Oh, wait.
That one I've never heard. And I mean, I'm saying in real life, it's extremely rare. That blood on blood stuff. Very, very rare.
Okay, well, people in the audience might have heard of somebody who
wrote
about it in a diary.
I'm saying it's extremely rare.
Wow. Anyway, that's interesting. And then I don't know if you knew this. You remember the sheriff who gunned down the judge in Kentucky?
Yes, and I knew about that judge before the story broke. I knew that judge was doing what he was doing, and that story disappeared about the judge.
Well, apparently it's coming back out.
Yeah, that story had no legs about what the judge was doing. Now, I'm not saying that he deserved to get what he got, but this was not an innocent bystander.
No, well, it helps explain why.
Right. Yeah.
Sheriff would just, would just radically go. It's like when you bring the daughter into it. And,
yep.
But he's a charming looking guy. I'm sure.
Who knows? Who knows?
He's a catch. But yeah.
What was he doing? He was running aboard.
He resigned days after the shooting. You had to work.
Well, that's paperwork. He had to clear up some paperwork. That took some paperwork.
I guess so. I'm sorry.
He could get off. They used to be able to get off in one of those spur of the moment killings or passion shooting.
Oh, crime of passion.
Crime of passion, Hunley. He might be able to try that as a defense. But you're missing the big story of the week is Eric Menendez last night.
Oh, that's right. How about Lyle? Is his done? Did he get it?
No. It's two. Hold on there, big guy. Hold on.
No, I know.
No. It's two separate cases.
I know.
They're in separate prisons. They have two separate appeals. They're not the Siamese twins that you think they are.
I didn't say that.
He will have his own parole board hearing.
Right, and it's today. And I didn't know.
There's no results coming out yet today.
Okay, well, that was my next question.
Well, maybe you should tell the story of the first one, then it would end. You could add your part to it.
Okay, fine, fair enough. Go ahead. It's your state. It's your guy.
No, the story is Eric Menendez was turned down for parole, and the reason they cited was, despite media storylines and Netflix documentaries, apparently, and this is according to the parole board, he was not the ideal prisoner that they claimed he was, that he had a number of marks on his record, so to speak, in prison that they felt that they could not ignore. Now, this may not be true for Lyle. Again, Lyle, from what I understand, was the model prisoner. Eric was not, just to set the record straight, from what I understand. I don't know what the record says about their prison time. But Eric did have negative marks or black marks on his prison record,
including fraud. From what I understand.
And this is what Nate Hochman has been yelling about. Nate Hochman came out even 2 days ago before the parole board voted to again denounce them being released because they would not embrace the crime itself. And embracing the crime itself is not saying I'm sorry. As you're well aware, Eric, there's more to it than just saying I'm sorry, because you could be saying I'm sorry that I'm in prison. I'm sorry I'm an orphan. I'm sorry I did this whole thing. You know, what Hochman kept talking about, to use a Yiddish phrase, was the fact that they had not fully embraced the guilt of their crimes. And he was opposed to them being paroled. He was, of course, fighting against the inimitable Mark Garagos, who has had such great clients as Chris Brown and others.
Scott Peterson, for God's sake.
And Scott Peterson. Garagos thought this was in the bag. He had navigated and manipulated the court system out in Van Nuys to get to this point, to cut through everything to get a parole board hearing. Because if you were doing life in prison without parole, you can't get a parole hearing. So the first move by Garagos was to eliminate life without parole. That led to a parole board hearing, which they just had, and everybody thought this was going to be a slam dunk, Eric. And apparently it wasn't.
No, I mean, well, wait a minute. Didn't you speculate that the parole board could turn him down to throw it into Newsom's court, where he has to do the commutation, like
right.
Shove it on him, kind of the reverse.
Right, but then again, what is the political upside of him releasing a in other words, does it help him at all?
Especially if he's thinking about presidency.
Right. I'm saying, I believe that they put the kibosh on it so it wouldn't come to his desk. I think he wanted this killed at the parole board hearing level. Now, when I was before the parole board with RFK Jr., we were successful in getting them to vote for parole of Sirhan, who had been in jail for almost 60 years and had a perfect prison record, who had attended AA meetings in prison for 20 years, who had letters of commendation from the guards. I mean, it was all, I didn't know all this until we got into the parole hearing. And then the amount of stuff that Sirhan had, 58 years in prison, No crimes before that, impeccable prison record. And they voted to parole him. It was Newsom who politically rejected his own parole board's decision. This one, I think, is the reverse. This one, I think, he did not want this to get to his desk. This is political dynamite for him.
That's true. Now, all right. I just looked up his Lyle. Now, can we talk about? I just didn't know if you knew if his successful or not.
No.
And it just appears that at 6:35 p.m. Eastern time, Lyle Menendez's parole hearing continues.
Yeah,
so
I think he's got a shot. I think it may be a split decision here. I think Lyle's got a shot. I don't know what Newsom's going to do about it. He may reject his own parole board again. The first time he rejected the parole board was with the Sirhan case, because the unborn daughter of the Kennedy clan, who was in her mother Ethel's stomach at the time of the shooting, felt that Sirhan could Uber from Pasadena to Malibu and kill her. This is what she told Newsom. And he said, that's a possibility. That could happen at 78 years of age, and take an Uber from Pasadena and kill her in a gated community at the Kennedy compound. So that was rejected. So I don't know what's going on. Length for any of these parole hearings is a good sign if you're rooting for them to get out, which I'm not. But that usually indicates they're giving it some more thought.
Well, Eric had a 10-hour hearing. I just saw.
Yeah, so you got to get your money's worth. Usually get your money's worth. I think the one we were involved in, I want to say it was 3 or 4 hours. I mean, it was a long thing. The one for Sirhan.
Interesting. Well, I mean, the current speculation is that neither of them are going to get it because well, I don't know for sure, but they're saying that it would be an awkward situation because how often do you have such exact compare? I mean, they both did it together.
I know, but they didn't do the time together. That's the point of parole. They did it in separate prisons with separate records and separate lifestyles, and didn't even see each other. So it's not the crime. I mean, they're guilty of the crime. Nobody's disputing that.
Well, I understand.
It's how you do your time.
I think they're thinking of the political, like you said with Gavin Newsom, same thing. It's like, you are correct in that they weren't together. It's not the same thing. There's nuance, but nuance doesn't fit on a bumper sticker. Like one did it, the other did. One gets out.
No, it's definitely in a perfect world. I mean, Eric could have been the most malicious, nasty prisoner on earth and killed a man in the joint, and his brother could have been the most perfect prisoner on earth. Why does he have to suffer for the parole violations of his own brother in another prison? I mean, look at it that way. I'm not saying.
Well, I'm sure if it's extreme enough, that would help.
I don't know the extremity, how extreme it is or not. I'm just exaggerating for effect. But it could be that you can't blame one brother in another prison, for the parole hearing of his own brother.
True. All right. I saw this one, which I thought was amusing. Hillary Clinton has been slapped with an ethics complaint targeting her law license over the role in Russiagate. So it'll be hilarious if we get to see both Clintons lose or give up their law license, because remember, famously, Bill gave up his license after lying.
Well, that was an extreme situation. They control the bar associations of every city in the country, so it would be obviously some guy filed a complaint in one bar association. I would be shocked if any bar association took away her bar license. I mean, they're about the most far left group of any groups associations in the country, are urban bar associations or state bar associations.
Wow.
Somebody filed a complaint. That's legit, but
for sure.
Yeah.
It'll just be interesting. And as far as obviously it won't affect her. It's not like she's going into the courtroom.
No. It would just be to embarrass her, but they're not going to go that far. They're going to bury it.
Probably. I mean, they buried enough around her, right?
Yeah.
I did find it amusing, and the concept of it would be funny if both of them lost it.
Yeah. Well, if something does happen to her criminally, then it could proceed, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it kind of has to. I don't know, Kleinsmith.
Yeah.
I don't know how he managed to get convicted and then he's back practicing law and never loses anything.
Because it's the DC Bar Association, for Christ's sakes.
It's just insane. You are correct. It doesn't make it less insane.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely insane.
All right. I didn't even know this happened. I guess I don't really follow. You know that Dr. Phil McGraw started his own network. What was it? Like Merritt Street. I keep wanting to say Maple Street, but it's Merritt Street. And I knew about it because my friends on the behavior panel, you know, they got a show. Well, I don't think their show ever actually aired. I know they filmed a whole bunch of them, and then I guess it was a problem getting rights or something, but it never aired. And it turns out, well, I guess Dr. Phil declared bankruptcy in July. So it's not even 2 years old. Okay. And the network is doing it. But he was in a partnership with Trinity Broadcasting or something. And now they're suing him. And I guess he was trying to get out of the bankruptcy because they couldn't pay the lawyers to even keep fighting or keep the bankruptcy going. These guys are suing him for $500 million. And it seems like it's a mess. And another weird point is apparently he started another network under another name.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
So I don't know.
It doesn't mean you can't legally move forward out of bankruptcy. I mean, people have filed bankruptcy and became president of the United States.
This is true.
Right. I mean, I have to tell you, Cher and I went down to visit Dr. Phil one time in Cher's private jet, and he put these helmets on us, these Soviet cosmonaut helmets to control our brainwaves. We went into Dr. Phil. I ever tell you this? We went down to Texas.
Please back up. Let's start from the beginning.
Oh, no.
I'm saying,
all of a sudden you're interested.
Well, me interesting, and then I'm interested. No.
We went down at the invitation of Dr. Phil. Don't ask me how Cher and I did this, but we went on her private jet down to, which is the only way she rolls. We went down to Texas, outside of Dallas, and it was outside Dallas. And he had a laboratory, and in that laboratory, we were taught by him, or attempted to be taught by him, to control our own brainwaves. So we put these Soviet cosmonaut-looking helmets on us, these skin helmets with wires and cables coming out of our brain. And he was trying to teach us to control our own biorhythms. And in front of us was a board with our biorhythms, and we were sitting there thinking different things that he was telling us to think about. And the biorhythms, you would see the change of your brainwaves on the screen in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was funny.
Can I ask why?
I have no idea why. I have no idea what was going on. All I know is we were down there and Dr. Phil was telling us how to control our brainwaves. And that's it. That's as much as I'm willing to say about this particular story. I'm only mentioning it because you mentioned Dr. Phil, which has been my only experience with Dr. Phil, is this particular private event in his laboratory.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of untold stories, Hunley, that have yet to be told.
Apparently. Wow. That's my summation. I don't know where to go with that one. Okay, insane. Somebody in the chat said both rejected, so I don't know. I'd have to see it.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens.
Maybe Lyle.
Probably true.
Oh, I don't really follow rap, but it's funny. I see these different names going around, and I guess they're a big deal, but I don't know who they are. But Lil Nas.
Oh, Lil Nas, a huge deal.
Okay, well, I don't know him. Never heard of his stuff. I
think he's into the syrup.
This is him. The other night.
We'll be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. No, go ahead, babe. No. Go ahead, babe. No. Didn't I tell you to put the phone down? Uh-oh, somebody's gonna have to pay for that.
Apparently, he goes on for like a minute and change. But
I think he's been hospitalized now, right?
Yes, apparently he went to the hospital. So I don't.
I think he's got Lyme disease, from what I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, he will have Lyme disease by tomorrow.
Okay.
they'll come up with some rare.
Not exhaustion or.
No, well, it could be exhaustion. Whatever it is, I mean, you get the drift. It's a PR firm will come up with something to keep this thing going.
Wow. I mean, I actually feel bad for the guy. I mean,
Yeah, no, I mean, he's obviously mentally ill and on stuff. And the problem is when you go to rehab, you're not earning any money. So the people who live off of you, which is managers, agents, and others, are not happy if you have to go to rehab, because all of a sudden, I mean, they may have other clients. It's not just that particular client. They may have other clients. But if you're not on tour making $1 million a month, grossing or whatever, I'm not saying Naz pulls that money, but he might. You're going to lose $100,000 or $10,000, depending on the percentage of the money that you're getting from aforementioned client. So rehab is the last stop on the train, and many of these guys debate privately: is it going to kill him if he doesn't go? And then they have to have an internal debate whether they're going to lose the entire nest egg, which is what happened with Prince. Or send them to rehab and save the cow.
I'm so glad they care.
Some of them do care. Some of them have an intervention. In other words, they'll put together, like with Elliott Smith, they put together an intervention. So Elliott Smith, and this is not uncommon, fired his managers and agents, and they lost everything. So it's not as dark as you think, because they obviously don't want to get fired and they don't want to lose their job. And the intervention may not be successful, which it wasn't with Elliott Smith. And now you've lost your job. I mean, it's not as open, black and white as you think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm more cynical. But.
Yeah, but some of them are egregious and some of them are well-meaning and some of them just don't work. But the bottom line is, if you're in rehab, you're not earning money. And then when you get out of the rehab, they want to get you right back on the road again, which is not...
which can be stressful and cause the same problem or whatever.
Yeah.
So, wow. So maybe Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, Lil Nas is going to need some help. Lil Nas is going to need some help.
Maybe he'll say hi to Jordan Peterson somewhere.
That would be great. I mean, Jordan was addicted to benzos by his own admission, had a detox in Moscow. I mean, just a crazy route, of drug addiction treatment that Jordan Peterson had. Just wild stuff that he did. And I don't think he ever truly recovered from it.
Well, they said things like he almost died.
It's true. It's true.
Like
Rapid detox, which is what he had. He was going to multiple rehabs in the United States domestically, and he didn't want to hear what they had to say. So he ended up in some Soviet fucking rehab in Moscow with a rapid detox that can kill you.
All right. And by the way, I see something here in the chat, which gives me an opportunity to talk about locals. You guys,
okay.
We've talked about locals before, and it's a really cool place. So there's a private chat on locals, and like, for example, I have a show I do there every Saturday. It's called a Grill Stream. It's just sort of a hangout, but a lot of the entertainment value of locals, the Grill Stream or whatever, is that we have people like Otto here. Otto goes by Otto in locals. He has another name here. And he says charming things like, I'm glad we won't have this problem with Eric since he has no money to cost us. Exactly. So there's an added amount of entertainment in our locals. There's a private chat there going right now. I guarantee that Otto is sniping on the side. Other people are.
Well,
you could participate in it in a fun fest of feasting on my fat ass and enjoy yourselves.
There's two things I want to say. One is two plugs. For today being Friday, there's two movies I wanted to plug. One is a brand new Devo documentary on Netflix featuring Devo. Featuring, but the actual living Devo, but some of the dead Devos. I think Bob too is dead. The guy I know for many years is Bob Mothersbaugh, who's Mark's brother. The guitar player in the band. I've known Bob for a long time. Mark, I think I've just met one or twice, but Bob I've known for a long time. So I'm recommending that documentary on Devo, which just came online last night on Netflix. And the second is an older film called Blue Jasmine with Cate Blanchett that she won the Academy Award for, a Woody Allen film featuring some Alec Baldwin is really good in it, but Cate Blanchett is freaking amazing and deserved an Oscar. There's other people in there, in bit parts, Louis C.K. and Dice Clay and some other people. But I watched it last night. I forgot how great the script was. So Blue Jasmine, the Woody Allen movie, and Devo documentary. That being said, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say I interviewed Silas Height a few years ago. I don't know if he's Bob's son, but his uncle is Mark Mothersbaugh. So it might be Bob's son. I don't know if you know him, but Silas Height is a composer, award-winning, does a lot of films and stuff. Interesting guy. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Bob and Mark still work at Rugrats Nickelodeon, doing music for them on Sunset over here. They did for many years. But that being said, I just wanted to mention that we're going to go to Dallas at some point, since we're coming up on September after Labor Day, and then we've got a short little window, September, October into November, when Eric and I will be visiting once again Big D, as they call it down there, with our Texas friends. So I usually don't eat any meat until I get there, because it's going to be barbecue and other things when I do get there, which is kind of fun. This is a JFK Lancer lineup as of today. Oh, look at this, expanding even further. This is
that's the same one we've had for a couple of
years. This is very interesting. Okay, this lineup is going to be fun for our audience, I believe, and us, and me and Eric. I mean, Eric likes to interview some of these people. Maybe you can interview some of these people.
Well, we both did. I mean, I put out.
Did?
Yeah, well, on the channel, and I literally put out a few weeks ago when you couldn't make it on, you were out camping, lost in the woods somehow. I put out all the interviews that we did in 2022 at Kappa. We didn't do it at Lancer, but we may do it at Lancer to interview folks on the scene. It's pretty cool to see it, on hand.
Okay, so there's a secret code, right?
There is. It's not that secret. It's on the bottom left. It's called Untold 10.
Okay.
Please use Untold 10. It's very important. It gives us credit for it. And that way when you're making your mark, we are going to take over the place like we did 2 years ago.
Now, you emailed me about this Russian guy yesterday. What do you know about the Russian guy who killed Tippett?
I don't know about the guy. I looked it up, and it's not new. There was an Esquire story in 1967. I found a copy of that. I was looking at it, and I don't even know. But the guy, there's a lot of people out there who are suddenly JFK channels that I've never heard of it. His name's like Ted Yazuka or Ted. I don't remember his name, but people are sending it to me. I am less familiar with JFK than Mark. So, a lot of it is like you send me something, I don't know. I don't know if Mark has heard of him. Well,
what I said to Eric, and I said this about 6 months ago to a year ago, even, every time and this is an accordion effect almost, and you could set your watch to it. Anytime we try to get close to Russia, all of a sudden the Russians killed JFK storylines begin to reappear. And that's what I said to Eric when he sent me that the other day.
Well, that's why I sent it. I was like, here we go.
As Trump began to rapproche with Russia, the Russians killed Kennedy's storylines. Oh, and this goes back years, folks. This goes back years. They will crank out that the Russians did it. Any attempt we try to make peace with the Russians, you could set your watch to it.
Now, in fairness, this guy apparently is from a Russia, but he is actually living in the U.S. I think he was in the military in the U.S. He's got a very Russian-sounding name, so it's probably the same effect. But I was like, I never heard of him. It's on the site. Here we go. Yakuchi. Yeah, there we go. And
Stephen Lewis is right. Yeah,
I couldn't remember the guy's name.
Right. What I'm saying is this stuff appears throughout history every time we try to, or the Russians are in the news related to the United States.
Yeah. And I have you heard of him before?
No, I have not.
Okay. Yeah. He's like this other guy, another one who came recently. It's like the past year to 2 years or so. It's just like on the scene.
Well, as I've said to you many times in this channel, you have to have a new thing to get attention. Why you would have a new thing in a storyline that's 60 years old is another question, but new people keep appearing out of the blue.
Yeah, now to his credit, he does have a new video that somebody sent me that said, of course, James Files didn't kill him.
Right. So that
I'm like,
links
oh,
into James Files. You know, when Judith Berry Baker first came out, everybody initially scoffed, and then she became part of the storyline. After they fended off the scoffers, it took a couple of years. She attended a bunch of conferences, had some book signings, and did some high-profile things. And now it's accepted in certain circles that she was Lee Harvey Oswald's girlfriend. Was it a little rough for her at first? Yeah, but that's the job. So what?
Yeah, especially if you win in the end.
Yeah.
All right. I want to get into some super chats. And on Tuesday, there was a problem
what happened?
with the super chats. Yeah. They didn't come through. And I did say that, I do not avoid them. If there's a system problem, I hate it. So I went and I pulled up all the super chats that did actually come in on Tuesday. So we go through them. Some of them I did see, others I did not. But I did want to take a minute.
My chat super.
Yeah, I did want to go through and acknowledge, because you guys are helping us out. It's very important to us. All right, Nate the lawyer had 2 of them.
Those I saw. I remember talking to him.
Right. I was going to say both Nate the lawyers I did bring up. Pew Pew, I mentioned it because I saw it. I wasn't able to pull it up, but they put out Are My Chat Super. Thank you very much. I don't know what Norway Kroner 200 is. I'm guessing it's like 20. I don't know. Dr. Evil, can you see me now? Where's copy? I think I saw that one. John S. with a sticker, I get a super sticker of some kind. I don't know what that is. I don't even see what stickers are in general. So that's new. Can Darren Bailey win in Illinois governor race? That's Ken 1362. Do you know who Darren Bailey is? I'm not familiar.
Some guy running for Illinois governor? No, I don't know.
Okay,
that's
well,
not,
I know
that's not in
Pritzker
my,
is there.
That's not my usual story beat.
I mean, I'd be happy to see Pritzker out.
He's probably a Republican House member or something, or Senate member.
Elwood Bryant
locally.
Said my favorite line about rehab was by Sam Kinison in the mid 80s. If you have $30,000 lying around, you can spend on treatment. Then you don't have a problem yet.
Right. It was a sarcastic line by Kinison, who ended up dead on the side of the road with a newcomer chip in his pocket.
Which is brutal, but he also had other things in his system, right? Or was he?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, he was filled to the gills. We're going to be doing Kinison in about 2 weeks.
All right. See, Scott H. There's a new assassination movie coming. I did talk about that one.
Yeah, we did, and I mentioned that to Scott. I don't know, verbally or whatever, but that was the one that Mamet bailed out, and I think Solazzi is the grandnephew of Giancana.
Okay, so and then the other one from Nate we did get. Now, some smartass in the chat said, "What about Rumble Rants?" I do read Rumble Rants. They come in on the show. Don't usually get a lot of them. But we do have a few today. So I'm going to go with Rumble Rants first. I got last super chats.
By the way, I'm wearing these because the lights and the Blu-ray has been bothering my eyes. These are like Blu-ray glasses with anti-glare stuff, in case anybody's wondering.
Okay. Cindy 1M on, wait a minute, this is Rumble. There are a lot of Rumble Rants. I mean, this is unusual. So
well, start rating them. What do you?
No, this looks like.
Go ahead.
Why does it look like? Okay. Cindy M said, nagging hags, laughing. However, I have trademarked for my honey's ex-wife.
That's funny.
Okay. Entry Require said, using paintballs or spray cans, hit the rioters with blue dye and put out an all points bulletin for LEOs to pick up the Smurfs on site.
That's a good one.
That's done in Japan. Japan does that.
No, we know that. I'm just saying that doesn't give me the joy of knocking him down with a fire hose, but it's pretty good.
Well, you could put blue dye in the fire hose.
Okay, that's even better.
I'm there. I'm trying to help. See, problem solved. Entry required. Klobuchar had to make a denial because these days you just don't know. Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm saying for the campaign coming up, it's going to be a major problem. Major problem.
All right. And then it repeated the same 3. That's odd. Yeah, that has to be Rumble because it's weird. Let's see. Dick Dickerson on YouTube. If they raid the Clintons, I will have a perma Woody. LMAO.
You'd like that, wouldn't you, Dickerson? You get double Dick in your thing, and then a Woody. I mean, you'd have 3 Woodies in your name. Yeah, it would be exciting, wouldn't
it? It would, but
we can dream.
It's not going well though, because Ghislaine pretty much said that Bill Clinton did nothing, never went anywhere, and
she's saying exactly whatever she was saying. It's to get her out of jail. She didn't feel like pontificating. I don't think that was extremely scripted. I don't know if you heard some of the audio today.
I didn't get a chance to see that. I saw some breakdowns of it.
I listened to the audio. She, obviously said that he didn't self-delete. That was one story, but that's her opinion. And then she said Trump was above reproach, and she also said Bill Clinton was above reproach.
Yeah.
It may be true. I don't know. I mean, there's only
and she said that the picture of Andrew was bullshit and fake.
Yeah. So, I mean, in other words, she is only saying she's not coming out of there unless Trump approves and the Justice Department approves of what she's saying publicly. So they must have approved of this, so they wouldn't have released it.
Yeah, I don't know. Dick Dickerson gifted 10 America's Untold Stories memberships, which we always appreciate. And Dick is one of the best of this. Dick and Pew Pew are probably 1 and 2. And
She did say that her father was. She did say that her father was British intelligence going back to World War II, which I already knew about, and that once British intelligence, always British intelligence, as she said in that quote.
Oh, she also had an interesting thing about how Epstein made his money, that he came up with some algorithm that found where billionaires were getting money stolen from them, and he got a percentage of each or so.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Benz talked about it before. Mike Benz has been on this, his hedge fund operations and how he, was supplying money for intelligence agencies separately, but the money-making thing, according to her, was legit, and he did come up with some system using an algorithm regarding hedge funds.
Yeah, so I haven't had time to go through. I don't know if you're going to read it for, so we can see if there's any more in there, but there's no time today. Brad Pitless, why was Ben Lawfare Witts outside Bolton's house during the raid reporting on it?
I don't know who Ben Witts is, but was anybody outside talking about it? Or?
Well, there was a person outside wearing a Trump is a criminal thing, and I thought for a second it was Bolton, but I guess it's
that was Bolton's neighbor who came out afterwards denouncing Trump, who looked like Bolton Light.
Kind of looked a little like him. That's why
I thought so. Yeah, they all looked the same in that street. He came out as a neighbor denouncing the raid, but I didn't see any media out there.
I don't know. Daniel Friedrichs has been a member for 9 months. NPR finally made it to the big time.
Welcome, NPR.
Funded. They're funded and they're scraping. Mike Schaefer. Mike's got a few in here. Mark, my opinion, my option, I'm guessing opinion. Your show is better without a guest. Very good storytelling. Great job.
What if my guest is Andrew Dice Clay? Do you still feel that way, Mike, or should I tell him to go fuck himself?
Oh, I'm sure you're saying that. Tell him to fuck himself.
Right. Well, Mike, you got to start your own show, bro.
Mike has thoughts. He has other stuff coming up. Dick Dickerson. Reagan arguing and getting frustrated with the black lady in the Bronx was priceless.
Oh, and see, he toured the Bronx. Remember, he went to the ghetto. He went to the South Bronx, and he was jawboning with certain people there.
That one, I think I was in high school. At that point, I hated Reagan because everybody's supposed to hate Reagan at that time.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny, because you were talking about Carlin in your show yesterday. When I saw Carlin, he wasn't as bitter. He did get really bitter.
Oh, yeah, right.
In the late 80s through the 90s.
Yeah.
Somewhere there. But when I saw him, he was funny. That's when he was sort of a place for my stuff, and all that was
before 89, before 88. He was definitely funny. I thought you saw him in 84, Eric, or
like 84 and 86, I think.
Yeah, he was okay then. It's 88 on. He goes crazy.
Yeah, and I remember that because I'd watched the HBO specials, and I was like, there would be occasional funny jokes, but most of it seemed ranting. And
It was.
and
It's because it was. He was ranting, yelling at the audience. He's in the Jersey one. He's actually heckled. This is an HBO special. You very rarely have hecklers yelling at the guy in an HBO special, but there are some in Jersey, and then the one in New York in '99 was just people just sitting there. There's no laughter for minute after minute after minute, Eric.
Right. And I did watch those because I was into the guy, I'm live and everything. And then it was just like I kept waiting for where's George? And that's why when you talked about on Tuesday the Planet is okay, that was actually getting back to more of the classic Carlin.
The Planet is fine, yeah.
That was more like the classic Carlin, I thought. And I was like, oh, I think I missed that because I gave up on him in the 90s.
He wrote it earlier. He wrote it in the mid 80s and performed it a bunch of times, but it's in that special, that HBO special that you're referring to. I think he wrote it in 89 or 90 or something.
So it was his last really funny thing? No,
it wasn't even that funny, but it was at least accurate.
Right. Well, it was in that style, the wordplay and the observational, all that. I don't know. But anyway, Mark's show with about, I keep wanting to say with, but it's Mark's show about George Carlin Wednesday is fantastic. You guys might want to check it out. I think it's one of the best performing things on your channel too. It is really doing
I think
well.
You're the best performing thing on the channel.
Nothing
is knocked Unley off of the top realm of performers.
It's over. Carlin's going to knock me off. Carlin's going to knock me off. I pretty much can guarantee.
Well, Wednesday we're going to have a similar show, but this one's going to be about a guy who's still alive, Andrew Dice Clay. So we're going to get into the weeds on Dice, who also spoke very foul language, not unlike Carlin. I'm glad YouTube has lifted the curse word ban in the early segments of the show, Eric.
Well, I mean, you are. I don't even understand that because it was like you can't do it in the first 7 seconds or 30 seconds. Or I'm like,
why would you?
Can make it a minute. You can make it a minute in before you start laying into the language. I'm like, okay, so whatever. Because I'm like, I guess it's like the first thing you hear is "What up, MFers?" or something.
You'd have to really jump in there right out of the gate.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I'm like, okay, yeah, you could survive it. I mean, I try to avoid it here.
We're going to get into it. One of my favorite moments in Dice's career was when Nora Dunn walked out of SNL in protest to Dice, believing that was his real character and it wasn't a made-up character, and walked out of SNL. But his allies on the show, which we'll get into, Dennis Miller and John Lovitz, completely embraced him during the show. And it was the highest rated SNL episode of the year and for a long time afterwards. But Nora Dunn didn't want any part of it.
You brought up Dennis Miller, right? I've always felt that Dennis Miller is who Bill Maher strives to be.
Absolutely. Dennis Miller is 10 times better than Bill Maher.
Oh, he's just smart. I mean, what I appreciate about Dennis Miller is he's so damn smart. But he doesn't talk down to the audience. He just assumes everybody is as smart. And I think half the time I'm going, let me see, do I get that reference? And it's almost like a class and comedy at the same time. It's really interesting. He's the only person I can think of who does comedy on that high of an intellectual level. It's
absolutely. Really and he never really got the credit he deserved, Eric.
No, I sadly no.
I would love to see a politically incorrect show with Dennis Miller as the host.
Well, if you ever get time, man, you're bored or whatever, check out Dennis Miller with Norm Macdonald, because Norm would have Dennis just in stitches, and they both had the same intellectual firepower.
Yeah, there's a couple of HBO specials with Dennis Miller that are definitely worth rewatching.
Oh yeah, I used to watch those.
Right, Eric? Right.
No, but he was the other guy. I mean, Carlin did HBO, and then Dennis Miller, I think, did not as many as Carlin, but he did several.
I'll tell you this: I was in my local video store on Columbus Avenue, and I'm looking at the videos to take out to rent, for the night. And I'm looking at these comedy videos, and I pick up the HBO thing with Dennis Miller, and the guy back of me said, "I'd rent that one. That's a good one." And it was Dennis Miller.
Wow,
he lived around the corner.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. That anyway, great guy. And I think he's retired now from.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
because he was a pundit for a while and a radio show, different things. But
yeah,
always sort of flew under the radar. All right, Mike Schaefer again. Yes, Mark. I hope future episodes include 12-step program stories. I'm guessing many can relate.
None of them will.
Yeah, and I don't think he talks about that much.
No.
For a reason. But anyway.
It's going to be an entire 12-step comedy series that we're going to
there
do.
we go. The Tom's 12-step comedy tour.
12-step comedy tour.
Actually, wouldn't be bad, except you can't.
Sponsored by Schaefer Beer.
Yeah, there you go. George Toth. Will the Terminator nail him?
Will the Terminator nail him? You talking about Schwarzenegger going after Newsom on the ballot thing? I mean, the ballot thing, they signed the legislation to put it on the ballot for November 5th. It's about a 36% split with everyone else undecided at this point, polling on the redistricting and getting rid of the commission that redistricts. So Newsom can pick up the 5 seats lost, or 5 seats picked up by Texas Republicans. He wants to pick up an additional 5 seats, which would just about reduce the amount of Republican congressional seats to 4 for the 40 million population with 40% Republican
How many
base.
are there now?
There's 9, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that if they got 5, that would reduce representation in Congress to 4 stinking Republican seats.
And I'm sure his slogan is "That's 4 too many."
That's 4 too many for us.
All right, Mike Schaefer again. Mark, could you share your process for the Carlin episode versus other episodes?
Absolutely not.
And I don't think it's that different than the process on this show.
No, it's the same process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only difference is that I'm sitting on the screen and I'm not sitting on the screen, but it's pretty similar.
Read books, know Carlin, tell true stories about knowing Carlin. I don't know if I can teach that to anybody.
Dick Dickerson. Rumble stole my locals account.
That's funny. That's funny.
I think there's some truth to it. I don't know. There's some sort of merging going with a Rumble.
Oh, is that true? Is that true?
Yeah, well, because I'll go on the webpage like to go to locals, and for some reason, like the other day, I went there and locals was already open, and I went to click on a post and it said, "You've been blocked," and I was like,
"What?"
Right. So I refreshed and then I had to log in, and it says, "Use your Rumble login." And I'm like, no. And I just did local. So I think they're trying to merge them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right.
Sort of like Amazon and Audible. I don't know how long you've been with Audible, but way back in the day.
Not that long, but
okay, well, I've been with them since like 2003. So
wow.
Anyway, they at one point when Amazon bought them, it was like you had to log in with your Amazon account.
It's like Facebook and Meta and
well, Instagram.
And Instagram, yeah, it gets confusing.
Jay-Z said, I think you mean Matt Taibbi, James, but I just saw a Mike Taibbi headline saying the Bolton raid is the first of many to come.
Yeah, no, I've heard that too. Did somebody say Matt Taibbi? Or
yeah, I think it's Matt. That's why I said I don't think.
Oh, Mike was the dad who worked on CBS Local in New York. I grew up with Mike Taibbi.
Yeah, I don't think Mike's still around.
I don't know, but he was a fixture. He would show up at everything. I mean, he would show up at a crime scene, an active crime scene.
Right.
Mike Taibbi.
Mike Schaefer said, Pew Pew gave $200. Not in that one. I think that was 200 kroner, and I think that's a different valuation.
Wait a minute. You tell me kroner is not equal to the U.S. dollar?
I don't think so.
What is it, 20 cents on a dollar?
I don't know what it is, because some of the foreign currencies it's based like on a penny, right? So if you have 200 pennies, then that's $20 or whatever. No, not or dime or whatever. It depends on where they start the thing, because like Japanese, I think they'll see something like 10,000 yen. What is that? $30. Oh, okay, because it's a lower base denomination. But either way, I don't think so. Well, we're talking about everybody check out George Carlin. I'm also going to yesterday's interview that I put out, I'm very pleased with too, is John Kiriakou. People have been responding to that very well. And we got into talking about something that I've always been fascinated about, and that was the process for getting a pardon, because he's been trying to be pardoned through 3 presidents, and he talked about everything that he went through, including, sadly, Giuliani. He's claiming that Giuliani's people, because Giuliani got up from the table to go to the bathroom, said, I got to go to the pisser, and offering him a pardon for $2 million.
Interesting.
So there's a lot in there with that.
Every pardon costs money. I'll just put it out there.
Right. Well, and he does say there's the
entire
right
industry,
way and there's the real way.
There's an entire industry of pardon economics.
I highly encourage everybody to check it out. It is, I think, an excellent interview. He's talking about things that he normally doesn't talk about, or he at least hasn't been asked.
You know, it's funny. I was watching Fox and they were talking about Robert Maxwell being British intelligence. And they said, let's go to our guest and talk about it right now. Our first guest is Buck Sexton. Didn't you used to work for an intelligence? He goes, what? He goes, yes, Mr. Sexton used to work for the CIA, but that shouldn't influence his opinion. What do you have to say about that, Buck?
Well, yeah. And then it was funny because people were in the chat, or they were talking a lot about, I think it's Mike Baker. Who
it's another one, yeah, it's another cat,
right? Well, and it's funny because there's some people who are kind of like critical of the Rogan sphere of comedians, and they're joking that that's Joe Rogan's handler.
Oh, that's funny.
And I don't think that
that's not even that. It could be half true.
Yeah, they may have.
Like, how does he fit it? He's not a comic.
No.
Like, what is Mike Baker's expertise to be on Rogan?
He's a CIA guy. He's his buddy now. He's been there on and off.
Yeah, I mean, but what does he offer? In other words, let's say you quit 25 years ago, like he did. What do you bring to the table after 25 years of leaving Boeing economics, or IT&T or Apple? What world would you be on talking about Apple if you left Apple 25 years ago, Eric? In your humble opinion?
Yeah, well, it depends. I mean, apparently Mike has his own show, so that could be.
Oh yeah, I have my own show on Apple that I talk about Apple products, and I still, indeed, I still have friends at Apple. I forgot to tell you, Eric, many of them with Apple security clearances who talk to me about Apple products, so justifying my show and my appearance today on Joe Rogan.
That's not the best example in the world because Steve.
No, I'm exaggerating.
Woz would be invited on tomorrow. But there are actually Apple podcasts that do have people who are the contacts.
I'm not even stretching it that far. I mean, but I'm saying that your claim to fame is you were a CIA agent 25 years ago. So I must have to be a guest on Joe Rogan because 25 years ago I was in the CIA.
Fair enough. Somebody's pointing out that Mike Taibbi is still alive. He's retired. What I meant is, I didn't think he was still around as in on the radio. I didn't think he was still actively out there doing
I never heard that he passed away, but he was a figure for my whole life. Everybody in New York and the East Coast, CBS, and then I think he went to another channel after that. But I remember being on CBS Local News with Jim Jensen.
All right. Let me see. That's very weird. It's not there. All right. Well, wrap things up here. And we are going to head over to locals where we can gossip further on different things. But before we go, we have some advice from Agent Mulder. We're talking about CIA and FBI and things like this. And Agent Mulder wants to encourage you to do something.
Really?
Hello, I am Agent Mulder with the FBI, and we have terrible news. A large sum of you are unfortunately infected with the strange supernatural disease that is keeping you from subscribing to this channel. I'm here to tell you that the only way to break free is to subscribe, and you should do so immediately. But if you don't, you must not worry. The FBI will be paying you a visit.